Good morning. Here we go. Welcome to What's Up Universe for Friday, May the 5th. Oh, it is the 5-5 energy, and what powerful energy it is as we sit here on the cusp of the full moon, the lunar eclipse. Lots of changes taking place in our world, sweet friends. And this is really the beginning. It's very powerful, very transformational. There's lots that is being taken care of both at, I want to say, both at the conscious and unconscious levels. There's a deep release that is happening. And so, again, when we look at it, when we kind of in this moment or in these energies right now, this is really taking things to a completely new level for us in our life. And of course, because it sits within Scorpio, we're looking at all these little deaths that are taking place in order for rebirth to happen. So there is so much. We're being prepared. I would say being prepared for the next level, the next progressive series of activations that are going to be taking place, and of course bringing it more uh, into synthesis and harmony in terms of the very things that our hearts truly desire. This is again these energies, where are really helping us to release any and all blocks that we've had, any and all blocks in our psychic senses. This is going to be an incredibly psychic month for us here as we move into and through these energies. Everything in terms of what the things that we know, the things that are like unknown, like I said, both conscious and unconscious, increasing our ability to give love, to receive love, to feel more abundant, to be more blessed. And again, aligning, as I said, to truly bring us into alignment with our worthiness, with the scope of what we're worthy of living and being within our life, but more importantly, in knowing at a much deeper level that we deserve to have everything that our heart desires to be fulfilled. And so with it becomes within this lunation comes everything in terms of activating, in terms of making that possible. This is helping us to really connect with the things that bring us pleasure, that bring us joy. There is, as I shared last night in my membership group, these energies are the very things that are helping to bring us almost like a back into what is co-creative flow with the universe after everything we've been through in terms of these last several years, as the structures are breaking down, as we had the pandemic at play, as we've seen some really what would be negative influences being orchestrated in the world around us. So again, this is a time of change for us personally. Change is taking place globally as well. So everything moving to the good. When we look at this energy, not only from a astrological understanding, but I would love to bring in from a numerology standpoint, because we're sitting here, especially, you can't make this up. I mean, here is probably the most potent, the most powerful, the most intense of energies that we are going to experience in 2023. And it's amazing how this is lining up, and it's on the fifth month and on the fifth day. When we look at the power of the five, more importantly, we add that together, we can say this is a 10. This is the 10, which means everything in positive momentum, everything of in terms of good that's beginning to unfold for all of us. So it's a very auspicious time. It's a time where, again, everything that we're moving through, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, is bringing about positive change, positive momentum for us in moving forward. Now, again, when we look at the five very, specifically, it's everything right now that's going to help not only in moving forward in within a more positive experience of life itself, but again, helping us to make the changes that are going to enhance and benefit our very well-being, physically, mentally, emotionally, as well as spiritually. So there's a lot of, even though we can look at this five, of course, important changes that are taking place for all of us, these are changes that are going to be uplifting. They're going to allow for greater experiences in our life. There is greater influences in terms of helping us to really, I want to say, manifest or make manifest the vision that we truly have. It's like from this point where now it's like our prayers begin to be answered, which is so beautiful. I mean, I know I'm ready for it, and I'm sure you are ready for it too. Now, it doesn't mean that it happens, easily and gracefully. Now, again, we can ask for it, and I think it's important that we do. However, again, this also comes in order, anything, when I say any clearing away any blocks, anything that has been preventing our flow with the universe, our connection with our authentic self, and the deeper truths, within it. This is also a time of great changes, which means for some people it can be a time of drastic change, unexpected change, and this is where again, through these energies, when we look at all the positive and the auspicious energy that this is about in terms of opportunity and potentials for our lives, this is also, this willingness to completely surrender, to just surrender to whatever is taking place, whatever is letting go, whatever is releasing, so that we can really be in a place of greater receptivity in terms of all aspects of our life. Now, we're looking at this in terms of, not only what it means for us as individuals, what it means globally, but let's take a look at what this means for us in terms of mediumistically as well. So here again, when we look, of course, full moon brings us into greater phenomena, greater interaction with the unseen realms of consciousness. You're going to see that everything is going to be amplified. So anywhere that you've been already receiving, or you've already been in the ways in which you've been interacting with the spirit world, with your angels and guides, that's going to increase in terms of what becomes a keener, more direct, a clearer field of receptivity for you. So anything that was clogging the filter, so to speak, even on the soul senses that were very active or you already engaging fully with, whatever was clogging is being cleared up here. As I said, this is an incredibly psychic month, which means we have heightened receptivity, heightened connection with the unseen realms of consciousness. This also means that anywhere that maybe we've been struggling in our receptivity, if we've been struggling even with insecurity, with doubt, if we've had a lack of trust, if we haven't been able to get clear or concise messaging from the spirit world, or we felt challenged in it in any way, even if there were soul senses that were otherwise maybe stilted or inactive, you're going to begin to experience as we move through. Now, again, yes, it's happening. The eclipse and everything is happening today, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen right today. Just know that this is going to be progressively for you over this next month, where you're going to have an increase of the information, or increase of the impressions, an increase of connection with the other side, especially through any soul senses that have otherwise been dormant. So here again, we're so tuned in, tapped in. It's such high vibrational energy, but it's also very healing. Here again, because we're working within Scorpio, it's taking us into the depths of our own psyche and our own purpose, and healing out any blocks or anything in there. But it's also, helping to, I'm going to say, there's a grandeur of cosmic energy right now that's lifting us up into greater receptivity. With that also comes, I know many of you, through conversations that I've had over the last, couple of weeks, especially as we've been sitting in this eclipse window, for many people feeling very indecisive, maybe feeling like a lack of direction, not really having clarity in terms of purpose through mediumship, some of the changes that are taking place in their business, how it is that they're really truly being called to serve, and it's felt very kind of confusing or disrupting. Again, we can thank Mercury for that, because Mercury puts us into a state of clarity, reflection, consideration. But it's been, I would say, even more intense through this 2-week window from the new moon to the full moon that's now upon us. So just know, as we come into the early part of next week, probably by about Tuesday for sure, when we have some things, when we have some changes again working, Uranus is going to have a really big influence on this for us. Where we come into there, it's going to begin to unlock that for us. So there is, again, the new ideas, the aha moments, the clarity that we've been seeking is going to begin to be downloaded. So you're going to, again, I really encourage you to to create the connection, to sit with your guides, to work within the energies, to look at really the timing of it in early part next week. Like, even once you kind of move through this energy over this weekend, that you look at the beginning of next week and you really begin to use that as an opportunity for you to kind of get the clarity. So anywhere where things have felt unstable, if you've been uncertain about anything, there's going to be this, I would say all of this, I would say this energy, especially because Uranus is having such an influence, it's really shaking things up for us in terms of what that looks like. So again, this is going to allow for us to expand in terms of the things that we've been doing. This energy under the 5 energy as well really holds intensity of creativity, which means when we look at it, not only in increased aspects of manifestation, because we move into greater flow in terms of manifesting and co-creating with the universe, co-creating with our angels and guides and loved ones on the other side. It also is activating some of those internal things within us as well. So again, anything that we're wanting to create, anything that we feel inspired or have always longed to do, as I said, this is putting us into this these energies, bringing us more into alignment of what our heart truly desires, but also being able to actualize that as well. So again, this is kind of shaking things up for us right now, but things are getting aligned, things are being unlocked. And as we move into the early part of next week, there'll be a lot of incoming guidance. Now, here, when we look at it through these energies, you're probably feeling extra sensitive. The emotional body, because of the Scorpio lunar eclipse that's taking place, you might feel very triggered right now, very emotional, a little extra sensitive. And so, last night, of course, in Evolve, one of the things that we spoke, that were shared, through some of the guidance and things that we received, is about honoring our sensitivity, honoring whatever's coming up. And this is where, again, honoring how we've been working with the spirit world, honoring what our life has been thus far, and allowing for us to kind of move into knowing that this eclipse is bringing closure or ending to some of those challenges and things that we experienced in terms of manifestation, the challenges that maybe we've experienced in terms of knowing the path, purpose, and direction that we want to take our mediumistic abilities, our businesses, or what that deeper calling is for us. Anything, like I said, where we felt halted, stilted, etc., is coming into resolution for us. This is also, you'll hear many people talking, of course, of the thinning of the veil, and of course, we know that that took place as soon as Mars went direct back in March. That we've got this really amazing time right now, right up until August, where we are completely engaged with those higher realms of consciousness, and we can utilize that under this energy right now to move into co-creative aspects with the universe to bring about the change, to begin to initiate and help us to kind of move forward in terms of what it is we want to actualize for our lives. And when I say for our lives, it's also important to know that within the state of consciousness, within where we sit, within the structures, within I would say not the structures, but the energies of the times that we're in, anything that we're doing that is bringing in for ourselves is generating for all people. So the more light that we can bring in, the more light we're making available for others, the more that we can enrich our lives in terms of direction, focus, purpose, manifestation, the more enriched that we begin to make it for everyone. So this really where, the invitations are, continue to be, yes, we need to be conscientious of how we're showing up in our lives, taking that responsibility, but allowing those things, this work, so to speak, that whatever is being released from within us, it's being released for everyone. Whatever we're looking to move forward with, we're working within an energy and a unified field right now that is having a positive impact on the lives of others very organically and very naturally. This is why it's so transformative, because those that are actually conscious and awake and moving into more of working with power of choice and understanding the ability that we have to really kind of move move through everything and create massive change in our lives in a positive way, becomes a structure and becomes an energetic structure. I think that's a better way of saying it, where that allows for that to be available and helping for all people. Now, with this, again, this five energy over this next month, it comes with, of course, the challenges, of course, of what we've been feeling, experiencing emotionally and otherwise, the things that we've been triggered, the things that bringing up those deeper feelings and emotions. We're going to begin to feel more grounded in who we are, more in terms of, again, that purpose, the authentic expression, everything. So again, as we have greater ease in accessing the higher realms of consciousness, because the filter is being cleaned out for all of us, that anything that has been unserving in our life is being cleaned out as well. So we become more in harmonious flow with life itself, more harmonious flow in terms of path and purpose and possibilities, and again, new opportunities that begin to show up here. So I really encourage you that through this time as well, even though it's very intense, and there's lots of shift that's taking place, that as we're doing this, that you are preparing, so to speak, for things within your own life. This is a time for the next several weeks. We need to just be the observer, to not get entangled within the drama that might be playing out. Again, a big spiritually awakening month, which means that when we look at both the spiritual and physical aspects of life, things are going to be coming into balance. However, in order for that to happen, it means that there may be a lot of people whose lives are disrupted. And again, this is where I always say, where we are called to be of service, to hold that space, to observe what's happening, so that we can help to balance, help to anything that negative that other people may be experiencing, that we're holding the light, that we're bringing in what is the positive, the love, to be able to counteract and to balance that. There is, I want to say, that's the one thing when we look, and we can be very excited about what it means for us in terms of our lives and uh, actualization of things, where we can really embrace our path. We've got a deeper sense of who we are, our accomplishments, what is possible. But for people in the world that maybe are just starting to wake up, it's going to be a very unsettling time. So here again, I feel like, as compassionate healers, that we are needing to be more responsible for the energy that we are living and being, what we are expressing into the world, and being able to pull ourselves out of the judgments and out of the drama that's occurring around us, and really open to hold space and to send that love and to send that light, and to be, I mean, this is a very purpose in terms of, what it means to be a compassionate healer as well. So here, again, lots of changes underfoot, but again, we're being reminded of the power of our spiritual energy, the power of our ability to be able to be of positive influence in what may be a little bit of upset, or the undercurrent of what it's pulling up, in terms of what the greater scope of other, people's lives. So here again, it's time, where you're going to see that as we move through this, as we kind of begin to have more positive view of life, things become more hopeful, lots begins to shift and change and coming in. This is also, where again, I really want to, as we kind of move into and we begin to find stabilization within this higher ascension energy, that we are, very become incredibly, or even more increasingly, conscientious of our thoughts, of where we are directing our lives, how we're showing up, because again, we have so much more power within this, that when we focus on the light that of being a positive influence, we can really help in great ways. But when we're showing up and still conflicted and wounded and judging and being hurtful or condemning of other people in their lives, that we can hurt others just as equally, and if not sometimes a little bit more. So again, just being energetically responsible is very, very important. So ensure that you're being the positive influence within your mindset, within your the energy that you, as I said, you are showing up with every single day. Now we are looking at again these next soul, like our soul, our higher self, really leading us forward here. And so to know that you're safe, you're being protected, your soul knows what it's doing. It signed up for this. So anything that might be feeling intense, anything that you've been playing up. I mean, again, here, the key word I think for all of us over the weekend is just to surrender, just surrender and trust, and just find, the ability to consciously move within the affirmative, the hopeful, the co-creative scope of to utilize these energies in terms of what it is we want to make manifest, of course, in the time to come. With it, just please know you might feel, you might have, because there's activation of those soul senses, it won't be unusual. You might be feeling a little bit nauseous. You might be feeling very tired, even headachy. So make sure that, even there's almost like a push and pull within this energy right now. As we talked last night, it's like a pendulum that's swinging. It's like this activation of motivation where you're moving forward and then you're pulling back and moving forward and pulling back as things come into alignment. So with it, you might feel like there are, physically you're feeling some of this because Uranus is having such an influence here as well. It might feel like you're have an electrical charge, or you've got a lot of vibration or a lot of energy that needs to that you're experiencing, feeling. So going back to those three basic spiritual needs, and lots of ensure that you're hydrated. Lots of water is going to really help you to find flow, over the days, and of course the month ahead, as things begin to stabilize and we begin to find our new grounding within it. You also, of course, want to make sure that you're attentive to health and nutrition, that you're being conscientious of what you're bringing into your body, and that it is a blessing for your body and for your cells in terms of being of service through these energies. And of course, I think even more importantly, looking at how can you express this energy, through exercise, through gentle movement, through giving yourself the opportunity, to even write and journal and express, and bringing that all in. And as you fall into really tending to the physical, mental, emotional aspects of yourself, and we move through, you're going to see that there will be increased clairvoyance, increased messages from spirit, increased phenomena, lots of signs, lots of, like I said, opportunities, lots of things that begin showing up that perhaps you have been praying for or you never thought possible. So it's really exciting times. And of course, of anything, ensure that you are truly taking care of yourself. Trust your intuition, trust what you're receiving, trust that the universe and all the powers that be are loving, supporting, and helping you through everything. Even though it might feel like a massive disruption to life itself, know that you are being attended to, being cared for, and that as you move through this, that great things or good things are definitely ahead for you and for all of us. All right, so that completes my understanding and my share today, in terms of what's playing out in the universe, that it's happening for us. So I just want to say thank you for tuning in, and be extra nurturing, extra kind, extra loving to yourself and others. It'll be the very way in which mercy and grace help to carry you through.